She's a retired Air Force Chief Master Sergeant, no easy feat. She was named a Woman of the Year for the city of San Antonio, Texas in 1991. In March of 2023, she was a panelist for the Women's Air Force and Space Power Symposium put on by the USAF. And the reason for that is because she's a 25-year veteran of Air Force and the very first woman to enter and to graduate NAV School EOD, leading the many sisters we now have today who do great things in this community for us. And with that last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to leave it up to my very dear friend of over 35 years, Chief Master Sergeant Linda Cox.
I can tell you in 2 words how I got into EOD. It was a dare. That is the honest to goodness truth. I'm from Oklahoma. A friend of mine, she said, I dare you. It was a dare. Everybody comes in for different reasons. We all kind of stayed for a lot of the same ones. We spoke a lot today about the names on the wall. You know, that's probably one of the reasons that we stay. We promised and we never forget. A good friend of mine, Jerry Stripes, Senior Master Sergeant Stripes, the Air Force. We were both stationed in New Mexico. He was a cannon, and they have a bombing range. He and 2 young guys that he took with him, he was always about teaching the young guys. They were on a training mission, training deployment to Egypt. Crash, military divers. So it certainly was a loss. And about 6 months or 8 months later, I was speaking to a couple of guys who were part of the cleanup on that. And they were telling me, they said, yeah, we cleaned up on that, and we went in and we found his equipment bin. So we opened it, and as you would expect, it's packed absolutely full, jam-packed of equipment. Just what you expect. And on the second bin, when they opened it, they started laughing because it was jam-packed full up to the rafters with refreshments. And then too is Jerry Stripes. He took the young kids, he wanted to teach them stuff, worked hard, but then at the end, no one was to be left out with the refreshment and the reward. He took enough for the whole base. So that's another way that Jerry Stripes will be remembered fondly. Just being in the EOD brings such love, respect, and family. I remember one time being in the desert. I had deployed to, it was Desert Storm then. We were tasked with driving to the cities. A couple of us went in and they were with an intel guy. So we're driving and we get into the city and there's nothing left. All you see are skeletal remains of everything. Vehicles, tanks, trucks, people, animals, buildings. The people there realized that we're Americans. They came out of the woodwork. They wanted to come up to you. It was almost like swarming you. They wanted to come up, they wanted to touch you, they wanted to talk to you, they wanted to thank you, they wanted to take their pictures with you, they wanted to show you their children. And those people were just so desperate for us to be there, so grateful, so thankful for us to be there. It was an older gentleman. He was probably in his late 60s at that time. His face and his eyes, they were so hollow from what he had experienced, what he had seen, what his family had seen. And he's calling us heroes. No, sir, you are the hero. And he stood there and said, America thinks I am a hero. And I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do. You stayed here, you fought, you did the best you could, you protected your family. His face It was as if he knew then that he had a different outcome than what he thought his wife had become. It was nothing I did or said. It's just the notion that he had after that to think that someone as wonderful as America thinks that his life and his self is worthy of respect. And it's rare it's that you get to speak or interact that closely with the big picture. Well, I met the big picture that day. There's another time I was in command post. And we're sitting around, and our radio people are doing their marvelous things. They're putting up antennas, and you can catch little snippets of what's being said on the stage, news and that kind of thing. And we heard President Bush's voice. His voice was so distraught, and he was saying things like, I hope I've done the right thing. He said, I hope our boys and girls are going to be all right over here. He was just so distraught. Most of you who've been in the command post know that a lot of times you're just kind of sitting there. I had a tablet in front of me, so I wrote him a letter. Dear Mr. President, we heard you speak today, and don't you worry about it. We're here to tell you that you are doing the right thing. You did the right thing. We are so proud of you. We're proud of the decisions that you have made. We're proud to be here, and we're fighting terrorism. It's everything we stand for, and don't you worry about it. And I signed it, Linda Cox, EOD. Period. I put it in the envelope, sent it off, just wrote President White House on the outside. But somebody better than the President of the United States got that letter. I'm here to tell you. Better than the President of the United States. It was the First Lady, Barbara Bush. And I know because she wrote me back. And that doesn't surprise any of you in here that know how they were. So she wrote me back, you know, thank you for your words and all that. And in her writing, she wrote on the bottom, I'm giving your letter to George tonight. So EOD was conversation in the presidential bedroom. And this was kind of fun. So, all right. There's something about that. When our world leaders, and you get to see a little sliver, as they turn into a human, right? You want to do everything you possibly can to do your job and to do it well. You fully protect these people, they deserve it, and it's exactly what you want. You all know how it started. Wartime, bombs dropping, some go off, some do not. They fall in war zones, they fall in backyard playgrounds. You target warriors, and they target innocent people that have absolutely nothing to do with the fight. The bomb disposal business is demanding, it's careful, it's technical, it's rowdy, it's all of these things, and it's also something else. It's a choice. And we believe that if we do stay, as long as somebody stays, then terrorists and the bad guys will never win. You know, I look around and I respect and admire everyone in this room. They're your friends, they're your family. That's where I'll stay.
I don't know if I gave you one, dude. More than that.
So thank you. There's nothing more that we can do but be proud of this individual who has taught us how to be proud of ourselves. Linda, thank you.